Grotesque punishments of 18th century Britain. Dark history. You won't believe. Imagine waking up in 18th century Britain. The air reeks of soot, sewage, and horse manure. But the real danger isn't the stench. It's survival. One wrong step, one drunken night, even insulting the wrong person, and you could find yourself facing punishments so grotesque, so theatrical, that you'd pray for death to come quickly. Welcome to a world where justice wasn't blind. It was brutal, public, and designed to make an example of you. Let's start with the ultimate punishment, public hanging. This wasn't just about killing someone. It was a performance. Thousands gathered, vendors sold ale, children jostled for the best view, and the condemned was paraded in a cart with a noose already around their neck. But here's the grotesque twist. The drop often wasn't long enough to break the neck. Instead, the victim dangled, kicking and clawing at their throat. For minutes. Sometimes half an hour. The crowd roared, and if you were lucky, friends might yank your legs to speed up your death out of pity. For them, it was entertainment. For you, it was a nightmare. But death didn't always end your torment. Some criminals faced gibbeting. Your corpse was locked in an iron cage and hung by the roadside. Birds feasted on your flesh, rain rotted your skin, and your bones clattered in the breeze for months, sometimes years. Families begged to bury their dead, but the state refused. Your body no longer belonged to you, it belonged to the law. Not every crime earned death. Sometimes the goal was humiliation. Take the pillory. You'd be locked in place in the middle of town, your head and hands trapped. Hours passed while people hurled rotten food, mud, even stones. Some laughed. Others spat in your face. If the crowd's fury grew too wild, you might not survive at all. And for drunkenness? Enter the drunkard's cloak, a giant barrel with holes for your arms and legs. You'd be paraded through town like a walking cask of ale, jeered at until your dignity was stripped away. Other punishments went further. Refuse to enter a plea? You'd be pressed to death. Stones stacked on your chest until you either spoke or suffocated in silence. Some chose it willingly, just so their family could inherit their property. Forgery? Your hand was branded with hot iron in front of the court. The smell of burned flesh told the story. From that day forward, anyone who shook your hand knew your crime. Whippings, too, were a favorite. Flesh split open while entire towns gathered to listen to the crack of leather. Sometimes, after being whipped, you were transported, shipped to penal colonies across the ocean, never to see home again. Punishments weren't always about killing. Sometimes they were creative. Women accused of gossip were strapped into an iron scold's bridle, a muzzle that pressed metal against their tongue. Silenced and paraded through the streets. Sailors accused of mutiny faced flogging around the fleet. Tied up, rowed from ship to ship, whipped in front of every crew. Salt air stung their wounds until they collapsed, or died. And for traitors, the infamous drawing and quartering, hung until half dead, disemboweled, limbs hacked off, and your head boiled in tar and stuck on a pike. The ultimate billboard for obedience. Even ordinary offenses brought cruel spectacle. Cheating bakers were dragged through town with loaves tied around their necks. Beggars risked hanging if caught faking an injury. Children as young as 7 were whipped, pilloried, even hanged. And if you owed money, debtors' prisons. Years in disease-ridden cells, rotting away slowly. Punishment wasn't just about pain. It was about branding you permanently, body and soul. The 18th century turned punishment into theater, a grotesque stage where criminals were both actors and victims, and the audience was everyone else. But here's the chilling question. Have we really changed? We may not gather in the square to watch a hanging, but we still gather online to watch humiliation, to mock, to jeer. The tools have changed. The appetite hasn't. So, would you have survived the punishments of 18th century Britain? Or would you have become another spectacle, another warning, lost in history's cruelest stage? If this shocked you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more dark history.